feminism needs to be a threat to capitalism rather than accommodation within capitalism. For 40 years of neoliberalism, the politics of feminism had been narrowed to mean success within capitalist structures. A feminist was supposed to be an empowered person who succeeded in the various corridors of capitalist power. So feminist empowerment would be to become the president of an imperialist country, to become CEO of a corporation that globally exploited workers and migrant labor. It was about who had the best corner office. So feminism for the 99% is a feminism for the many, which claims that in order for there to be real emancipation of the many, it needs to be a feminism that challenges capitalism rather than accommodates to it. So the first premise for a feminism for the 99% must be international solidarity, because capitalist exploitation and oppression is on an international scale. It is not that certain parts of the world are rich, but it is that certain parts of the world are rich because other parts of the world are poor. Colonialism, slavery are actually the building blocks for capitalism rather than simply accidents of capitalism or simply effects of capitalism. The fundamental lesson that I think the movement teaches us and that the manifesto tries to take forward is the idea of feminism not being limited to women's issues, but feminist politics being the basis of universal emancipation for humanity rather than simply equality with men. Because the fundamental understanding is, what good is equal wages with men if both wages are low? So that understanding of feminism as a political basis for universal emancipation, I think, is a lesson that we as authors learned from the movement of the international feminist strikes and the teachers and nurses strike waves in the social reproduction sector. Is the lesson we learned and the lesson that we try to take forward in the manifesto. The global feminist strike movement has been, in the era of neoliberal austerity, one of the first international intentionally anti-capitalist movements. And I think the climate strike movements that are being developed by children in schools is coming close to becoming one of the second kind of forms that this struggle is taking. But the international feminist strike has to be about internationalism because the same policies that are fueling misogyny in the United States are the ones that are benefiting the same rulers in, say, for instance, Brazil. So, for instance, Trump's misogynistic policies are actually being copied and celebrated by Bolsonaro in Brazil, and Trump is rolling out the red carpet for Bolsonaro when he comes to visit in Washington, D.C. So feminists who only operate on an anti-Trump basis will not be an effective fighter against this global misogyny unless we can connect our struggles with our Brazilian sisters along with our American sisters in the anti-Trump struggle.